Thank you for the water. Appreciate you. VIP, what the fuck? This guy's about to increase the price again, dude. Alright, welcome to the VIP, man. Oh, I'm gonna Grux on you. Oh, you're getting Gruxed. Come here, come get Gruxed. Call that domestic violence. Because that's my wife, you know. I mean, I'm gonna take a quick back after that. So Barry on card art was insane. You only got 3. What do you mean you only got 3 card art? What does that even mean? Oh, he's Gruxing so hard right now. Love some Gruxing. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Trimps use it once in the form of cards you build. Oh, I already knew that, yeah. That shit was a terrible system. How about a Giga Snowball this lane? Did he do Cyan? Oh, you rotated? You know, honestly, I'm starting to think that that's not my problem, Sarith. That's what I think. I think that's not my problem. That's why I think of that. What is my problem? This guy in my lane. Already fallen asleep. Since there's 1 queue and I'm in it. Are you in queue right now? What the, how long is your queue? You want to get Gruxed on? Level 2 Shimby versus level 4 Grux with a tier 2 item, basically. Oh, if only I had enough to right click, I would have killed that guy too. Paid actor. Almost 8 minutes. I think my first game today was a 10-minute queue. Shouldn't be good, you never see it anymore. She's decent. I can play a Shimby game. I love playing Shimby actually. She's decent. She's just a late game character, like a split push character. People kind of play her incorrectly in casual queue, which obviously leads to a lower win rate. They like slightly adjusted her numbers, which it really didn't change how you play her at all, and then people just for some reason think she sucks. But she's still pretty solid, in my opinion. As long as you don't die on her early game. Sorry, not sorry. I should clear one more. Like, I wouldn't clear the wave. Should we still be cooking? She do be cooking. Not this one, but like in general. Grux on. He's getting Gruxed. I don't think he understands he can't fight me with 15 CS. And, you know, like a 3 double difference. Not many know this mobile option. I don't think that's the issue. I think people know of it. I think people choose not to play it. What the fuck? So lucky. Oh no, baby, what is you doing? You're dead. I was gonna let him die to bleed disrespectfully, but you know, if you want to tower dive him, that's fine. There's a 10-minute surrender if I've ever seen one. But my dual lane's dying and stuff? Maybe it's not. Most people you ask don't know shit about OG Paragon, get alone Pred. I would disagree, but I also play Smite, so there's that. Or I come from Smite, which is like the other third-person MOBA. But a lot of the people that I know of the game in one way or the other. They just simply choose not to play it, or they just don't care that it exists. Although realistically, let's say you got a bunch of people to play the game. Let's say you got 10,000 people to play the game right now. How long do you think those people would play the game for, realistically speaking? A week? That's generous. I'd give it a day. Two hours? Honestly, it might be more accurate than a day. 2 games. I'd give it 2 games. If they played 2 games, they would stop playing. Why? Because the game isn't fun for new players. It's not. It's the same reason 60% of Smite player base is arena players. Because the current game mode is a competitive game mode. Casual players don't want to play a competitive game mode. They want to chill. They just want to play a 15-minute arena game. Something like that. Or play like a 3v3 with their friends. Something like that. In my opinion. Like Mastery, all this other stuff. Like people think that that's why people play games. I've never played a game that I wasn't already playing for Mastery. I've never loaded up a game and been like, oh, they have Mastery. I'm going to play the game so I can get the Mastery. I've never done that. I've played a game before and been like, man, I enjoy this game. And then I'm like, oh, I like the game. I'm going to play for this Mastery. I've never done that. Like, it's only for games I already play. Like, I don't know. Some paid EA. I mean, even if it's paid, I feel like that doesn't, like... I understand it, but then at the same time, it's just like, there's plenty of games that are paid EA and still popular. So I kind of feel like you could say that, but I don't think that actually is the argument that you think it is. Those other issues with OG Paragon, there's no casual mode. I think that's like a large part of it. Because casual mode, people say like, they want like a tutorial. Say, you need a super in-depth tutorial system. No tutorial system will ever teach you how to play a MOBA. It's not possible. No tutorial, no AI mode will ever teach you how to play a MOBA correctly. It's not possible to make. Like, it's just not realistic. The way people get into MOBAs is they play a casual game mode with their friends. They learn a character, and then if they're interested, they can then change they can transition the character into a competitive mode. That's how, in my opinion, that's how that works. ARAM is not the correct casual game mode. People want to play what they want to play. ARAM is not the correct casual game mode. It needs to be either a 3v3, like Joust, like chill one lane map, or it needs to be like an arena style mode, where it's just like an all out team fight at like all points. And they need to be like 15-20 minutes. That's what casual players like to play. They want to play games with their friends, and they want to play chill games. They don't want to worry about last hitting minions. They don't want to, like, that's all stuff that's important for a competitive mode, and I agree. But like, for casual players, they don't care about that. The arena mode, you play a game more than once a month. I think a lot of people would, and I think it would solve a lot of issues where people are like, they complain about people playing with their friends. I've literally never heard that in any other game, by the way. People playing with their, like, people getting mad that people are playing with friends. Like, that's such a weird take. It's such like a Paragon take, and like that would alleviate that, because people that want to play with their friends, they just play casual, like arena or whatever. And then it would also kind of separate people that want to play the sweaty game mode a little bit more. Like, there's not a ranked mode in the game, so like there's nowhere for sweats to go. At least if there's a casual game mode, then the sweaty people can go into the competitive game mode, and the casual people can go play the casual game mode. So at least there's a little separation at the very least. Tutorials or how good AI is best way to learn is playing. 100% agree. That's why I think the tutorial was like kind of a waste, in my opinion. Like, the majority of players will skip the tutorial. If you have the option to skip, they'll skip. Otherwise, they'll just do whatever they can to just get through it so that they can go play the game. That's like any game ever. Only reason I can play playing with friends because there's only one game mode. But this shouldn't matter, honestly. Alright, we'll leave. I'm baiting him, Countess. I'm baiting him. You're welcome. To be aware enough to realize you should be matched like a ranked game. It's misguided. But it's like not your fault. It's just not in the game. So it's like, it's not really your fault. Like, if that's the only outlet that, like, if that's how you want to play the game and that's the outlet that you want, then that's how you play the game. And like, it sucks for other people, right? But it also sucks for, like, it sucks for you, and then it sucks for the people in your game, because you want to play a more competitive variant. Other people just want to chill, and that sucks because there's only one game mode, and it's like, it's really out of your control, and I don't really blame you for it, but like, it sucks for both players. Not fun or interesting for new players who go against 5 stacks. I just don't think 5 stacks matter outside of the top players, like, at all. I think if you want to put 5 new players against 5 people that are solo queue that are also new players, the game will play the exact same. I just strongly disagree. If 5 bronze players stacked play against 5 bronze players not stacked, the game will probably be almost the exact same. Almost nothing will change. Get smoked. It's bronze versus plats, bronze versus gold. Yeah, but you're not complaining about 5 stacking, then you're complaining about matchmaking just being incorrect. If you're 5 solo queue bronzes against 5 solo queue platinums, you're still gonna get shit on. It doesn't matter if they're stacked or not. So the issue isn't stacking, the issue is the matchmaking there. It's not an issue of stacking in that case. Maybe just start comic / lore book. Make it 8-inch stuffed characters. The connections just bridge the character and the player. What? I think it's a little early for something like that. What's up, Dino? How are you today? Not a Grux jungle, fake stream. Well, my wife was in offlane, so I wanted to teach her a lesson. She tried to put mayo on a sandwich. I had to teach her a lesson. Bring him out of tower. Oh. Cook 'em, boys. Cook 'em. He's dead. He's Gruxing. He's Gruxing. So many women will buy a Starbash. Enough. Narbash stuffed character. I mean, may want to sandwich that bitch. That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you doing? So I beat the fuck out of her in lane. Nah, but like, I don't know. I just disagree. I fundamentally disagree. Crazy. I think it's a matchmaking issue, not a 5-stacking issue. But I do think like a casual game mode is number one. That's why I'm like, if you were to add 10,000 players to the game, I don't think any of them would stay. You would maybe retain about the same amount that currently play the game, like 500 players. It's a both issue because there's like one option. I mean, I would agree that it's a both issue, but I think it's primarily a matchmaking issue. I would say it's like 70-30 maybe. I think it's like 70-30. So I think it's primarily a matchmaking issue. If they can queue the issue would not appear again. It's like any other move would exist. True. Trust me, I would love nothing more than a second mode. I would love a casual mode and a ranked mode. I would love that. 3 modes, that's all you need. Casual, ranked, normal queue. Literally all you need. Those things and then like new characters, that's it. That's what I would add. Anything that's not those, personally, I think is a waste of time. Or like new items and stuff like that, obviously, and like balance, but I think that goes hand in hand with new characters. Like they can queue as Pliver with bronze as matchmaking fault. I can't correct for that. I mean, if you're duo queued, it can. You just get like gold players, and the plat player has to carry you. If you're duo queued, if you're not duo queued, you could just not get in the same game together as a platinum player and a bronze player. This promo won't get better without a larger player base. I mean, yes. But if you have an extra player, like if you have an extra queue, you have a larger player base because people will play that queue. Oh, dude, the long boy didn't hit him. I don't care about your gadget at all. I'm gonna tank the whole thing. Come here, I'm beating your ass. Oh, he's Gruxing so fucking Grux. I'm Gruxing, leave me alone. It's a 1v3. What the hell? Go interrupting my 1v3. What's your problem? Let me Grux. Straight player that are 2k or more under 1k in your games. I mean, there's a small player base and it just wants to get you into a game fast. But again, I think you would increase the amount of concurrent players. When people say it's a player base issue, it's not that there's not enough total players, it's that there's not enough players playing at a specific time. So like, there could be 10,000 players that log in a day, right? But you need to get those 10,000 players to play longer than 1 or 2 games. How do you do that? Extra game modes, more characters, things like that. Like that's what you need, retention to keep people in the game. And Hero Mastery, in my opinion, while it's nice, it will retain current players. It will not retain new players, in my opinion. You can also tell it doesn't try. I mean, it's kind of hard to try when there's like 200 players on any given server. Like NA, like peak time is like 900 players in the game, and you're splitting that between 4 servers. You probably have like 250 on the EU, and then maybe like 100 on Asia, and what's the other one? Then you probably have like 150 on West, and then you have like 400 on NA East. And then you also have people in a game. It takes 10 people required to get into a game. That's another problem with having like specifically only a 5v5 mode, is that you require 10 players. If you have like a 3v3 mode, right, you can then have queues with just 6 people instead, so it takes less people, so you can matchmake better. But you have like 400 people on the most populated server, maybe 500, because you have to add epic members, I guess, right? So then, how many of those are in a game? And if they're in a game, get over here, you coward. And if like, let's say half of those are in a game, you have 200 people in the queue, right? And then you have maybe some of those are on the menu, they're not even in queue. So then you maybe have like 150 in queue. You can only make 15 games. How balanced can you make all 15 of those games? You know what I mean? And that's like generous. Neo's link with a follow. Success the only matches available. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Get Pappy trolling. Pappy was removed from the Discord, so you don't have to worry about that again, Crashy. Mastery is good for people to play more. I think Mastery is good, but it's only good for people that currently play the game. Like, it's a great feature, and it should be in the game, but it only retains current players. It doesn't retain new players. Because you don't load up a game, and then you're just like, oh, wow, they have Mastery. I'm going to master this hero. You just don't do that. You're just going to go, I'm going to play the game. I'm going to try it. I like this hero. I'm going to continue to play the game, and then I'm going to master them. Or it's like, I like the game. I'm going to continue to play the game. Like, you have to get them to enjoy the game first. And I think it's kind of hard to do that in the current game mode. Because the current game mode is so, like, sweat oriented because it's the competitive mode, and it plays well competitively, but it's like, if you're a new player, you're probably gonna get shit on 90% of the time, and that can't be fun. Oh, I'm Gruxing so hard right now. Knock him up, knock him up. Oh, we lost the objective? What the hell? A rough estimate of how many games it takes to get Sereth? About 40 to 50. Overrun their internal MMR runs. 923. Have they said 923 before? So like a confirmed number. That's the other thing too, like Amita City is like a lot different. Their ranges are a lot higher, like 100%. On a predcast. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Like, you could be 1,000 difference on Amita City, but it could be like 250 in internally. Obviously, I don't know what the exact number is, but you get the idea. I've always said that, though. That's why I don't think MMR is like anything to look at on that website. They actually have a lot of good resources on that website, but MMR is not one of them. Fix the Z-axis? What's wrong with the Z-axis? Basically just hit there with no jump. Grux got big hands, man. He's Gruxing. Said it was tighter than that, like 1300 is the low. Again, wouldn't surprise me. I mean, there's only so much variance you can have in a casual matchmaking. Oh, he's Gruxing. Oh, he's Gruxing so hard, dude. I was actually, if I had full salvation, I think I'd kill everybody there. It's not gonna have a huge range. Yeah, I mean, and people shouldn't expect it to either. That's why I don't really like worry about matchmaking. I'm never like, man, I can't believe I have a bronze player on my team. Like, there is no bronze players. There is no ranked mode. Even if it was ranked, I probably wouldn't care, because I'd be like, if I have a bronze player, they probably have an equally bad player, right? What's up, Dodge? How you doing today? But yeah, I think a casual game mode is number one. You just want an enjoyable game for casuals. I don't think the current mode is enjoyable for casuals. For sure, when you get a sub 50% win rate, he runs it and yells jungle diff. Alright, see, I feel like that problem is like them yelling jungle diff. Them having a negative win rate, it's a casual game mode. If you have a positive win rate, they're probably going to give you somebody that has a negative win rate. That's just, again, it's just how it works. Because it has to balance it at a 50% win rate effectively, right? If you had enough games played, that's what it would try to do. So, like, it's not that crazy to think that you would get somebody with a negative win rate. Sure, is it annoying? Sure. But there's just not enough players to give you all positive win rate players. But when they type, that shit's annoying. I will say that 100%. Even when it's like a decent player and they type some dumb shit, that shit actually is so annoying. Oh, I didn't want to play the game anyways. Anyways, get Grux on. They can be bad, just don't type. I agree 100%. 100% right about 50% of the time. Truth. The original Paragon was a 5v5 MOBA developed by Epic Games. Oh, really? I heard it was a third-person shooter. Toxicity in this community is a whole nother convo. Well, again, you need to understand that the people that currently play the game, the only people that currently play the game are people that are like hardcore, like this is their game, like this is what they're gonna play. And a lot of the time when you have people that are like that, those people are generally toxic. You just keep your chat off all the time, then you stomped and the rage consumed you. You should turn it off again. All game journalists call it an arena shooter. Yeah, all of those guys that said Starfield was bad and Elden Ring wasn't good and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and Red Dead Redemption 2 is the best game of all time. Yeah, they're a really good track record there. That'd be more effective and cheaper to bring traffic to Pred. Okay, but you need a reason for people to play. Like, you can get people in the game. Getting people in the game doesn't keep people playing the game. It would just be like, so when the game came out, right, it had 8,000 players concurrent. Like on day one, it had 8,000 players. The next day, it dropped to 3,000, and then it has dropped since, obviously, to like, you know, 900 max at peak. Bruh. Megacosm, please. So, like, why are those players not playing the game? That's that's the question. And it's because a lot of those players don't want to play a competitive mode. The same reason, like, only like 25% of Smite's player base, like 25, 30%, play the competitive mode, whether that's casual or ranked queue. Because 70% of them just want to chill. They just want to play one hero and they just want to fight. Like, that's what they want to do. They don't want to sit there farming minions. They don't want to sit there farming camps. They want to just fight. They want to get active. And you can't do that in a casual mode, or in the current mode. Like, nobody that's new to a game is going to sit there in laning phase and then die in the laning phase and then be behind against somebody and then they just lose the laning phase and they don't know how to play the game. Because they don't understand. They don't even understand the characters, never mind the mechanics of a MOBA. Or, like, are invested enough, you know? It was the best of the game, we batted Glitch Fest. Everyone just ignores you for the love of Todd Howard. I think people just enjoy games that are janky. Jank is good. A little jank goes a long way, actually. If it's too polished, it's not fun. You need a little jank. That's why people like Skyrim so much. A little jank is actually a lot of fun. Like, I love games that are a little janky. Just makes it more intriguing, because it's just like an extra, it's like an X factor. You know what I mean? Bugs make some games. They do. It's just like a little X factor, just something else, you know what I mean? Just adds a little variety to the game. Otherwise, it's kind of just like, you just know what's going to happen sometimes. Candy Crush and Starfield? True, true. Tetris isn't a fair comparison. Current AI was bad, we know how to play the game. I mean, the current AI is bad. Like, I think improving the AI currently in the game makes no sense. Unless, like, that guy just has nothing else to do, like, it makes no sense. In my opinion. That's why I hate when people are like, they need to increase the tutorial system or increase the AI. It will not teach you how to play. Oh my god, he saw my knockup. My right click missed and I'm dead now. Fuck! My right click killed him, I would have healed, and then I would have lived. Son of a bitch. That must be sarcasm. It is, I don't care about original Paragon. It is very much sarcasm. Fuck. Ah, fuck it. No, it's just the basics on a real match. Get comfortable with mechanics as well. I just disagree. I think that's what a casual mode solves the same issue. Like, if I don't know how to play the game and I want to test a character or something, or I want to test a mechanic, I could just play Arena in Smite. Like, if I want to play Ratatosker in Smite, right? I'm not going to go queue an AI game. I'm just going to go play Ratatosker in Arena. And I'm just going to go fight people. And if it works, it works. If I have fun, I have fun. Like, I just strongly disagree with the fact that people want an AI mode. And I think tutorials the same way. People play a tutorial, they'll read through it one time maybe, if you're lucky. Half the people will just skip it, because that's how gamers are. I seem dislike for Paragon is comical. I never played original Paragon. I have nothing against original Paragon. I just think people compare the game too much to Paragon when the game is not Paragon. Like, Paragon failed for a reason. And, like, they had a lot of issues and a lot of things that were not good. And people just overlooked them because of nostalgia or whatever reason. And they want it to be exactly like Paragon. And I don't want it to be like Paragon. I want it to be a good MOBA. If it's similar to Paragon, that's fine. But I want it to be a good MOBA first and foremost. That's it. Original Paragon was clearly not a good MOBA. Tutorials, you just figure it out and play. Majority of people don't like tutorials. Majority of people don't play tutorials. I would actually be curious. I wonder if they have the numbers. How many people, like if they could see new player accounts since the tutorial was added, and how many people actually completed the tutorial. Like, not just touched it, but like completed it. You know what I mean? I'd be really curious. Alani's Gruxin. Dude, this guy's still alive, man. Not even alive, just over there. It's alright, TP's getting in hits, we're cooking. Played OG, you don't want the same again to improve upon it. See, I agree. I think that's what you should want. I think you should want the game to be better than original. Constable Paragon did this. They did it better in Fortnite and dropped the dead weight. Like I just hate the comparison. And it's like it happens with every new character, any new implementation. There's a tutorial. There is a tutorial. It's okay for a tutorial. Like I'm not mad that they made a tutorial, but people want them to improve upon it, and I think that's a terrible way to go. I think they should just leave it the way it is. I think the way it is, it tells you you have to last hit minions, explains your abilities, explains how the shop works, explains how towers work. That's all you get. It's all you got to know. That's it. Doesn't really explain any objectives or any macro play, but there's no way that you can teach that in a MOBA. It's just not. No tutorial is going to be able to teach you that in a way that you can actually understand it when you actually play the game. Did some tutorials, then you guys being Conquest doesn't help. It doesn't. Players skip tutorial, then complain the game is too hard and complicated, then cry for a better tutorial. 100%. People think tutorial just means that players will play the game because the tutorial exists, and I'm just like, I just disagree. You need a tutorial game mode is basically what you need. You need a game mode that teaches people how to play. In fighters, it's like usually the story mode, or like the mode where it's like you fight somebody until you lose, and it just progressively gets harder. Like that's usually what those are. And Smite, it's like arena. And then once you get a large enough audience, it's kind of like fine. Because then the audience will just teach each other, right? Or like people will make content about it and things like that. But that typing wins games in the tutorial. True. Is there a story mode? I don't think it should be a story mode. I mean, lore would be good, but that doesn't, again, it doesn't gather new players. It just helps retain current players. Which again is good. Same thing with Mastery. Like Mastery is obviously a good thing, but I think priority should be on retaining new players specifically. Personally. They're terrified. But the idea of a game mode that's fun to help people learn. It's just, you need people to pick a character, honestly. If you can get somebody hooked on a character, you will get somebody hooked on the game. Like, you just need them to get hooked on one character. Do you know what you would make for bread? What would be focused and fast-paced? What would your ideas be, Crashy? I think Arena or Joust. You can do that more than actual Conquest. I think Arena is a good one. Joust is like 50-50. It can be good, but it can also be bad. So I think Arena is a better way to go about it. The only benefit to Joust over Arena, I think, is the fact that you only need 6 people to queue, as opposed to 10. I think that's the only like straight benefit. I think I got his ult. But they were Gruxing so hard this game. I have 17 kills. What the hell? I'm just talking about the game. I'm Gruxing 17 kills. What the hell? Hard to get hooked on a character if you go on 20. Well, that's because of the current game mode. Like, cause you like that's just what's gonna happen in the current game. If you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna get shit on by people because they're gonna just out farm you, and then you're behind, and then you're gonna like die over and over again. But in like Arena, if it's like a 5-second respawn timer, and it's like a 15-minute game, even if you die 10 times, it's not really that annoying. But in like this mode, like in this game, if you play it and you're 0-5 in the lane, you will be 0-20 and you're sitting there for 30 minutes. It's just like, you don't get to learn the character, you don't get to learn the mode, and you don't get to have fun. And that's like 3 negatives in my opinion. Tier 3 Arena mode where you spawn in a small start time to buy your full build. I don't think that's good. I think starting with a full build is not that good usually. I think a mode like the 2v2, v2, v2 mode in League would be pretty interesting though.